Hello everyone, welcome back. Just want to say real quick, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you can, please subscribe and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Anyway, as we all know, most big YouTubers have a big ego, so there always seems to be like competition. And obviously when you've got big names competing against one another, it's gonna be beef and it's gonna be drama. However, thanks to KSI and Joe Weller in 2018, they invented a new way for these influencers to sort it out like men. Because, well, in the old days on YouTube, if there was beef between two people, there would just be a bunch of videos going back and forth arguing with each other. And the way it usually went was whoever won the argument was the person that wins over the fans. And obviously with a boxing match, you can't do that. And let's be honest, we'd all love to see our favourite YouTubers get in a boxing ring, smashing their enemy in the face. And that is the whole point of this video. So today I'm going to discuss the fights that we need to see, and I want you to let me know in the comments down below who you think will win each fight. So I think first of all, we have to start with KSI and Jake Paul. Alright, so I'm not going to talk about this too much, as my channel has multiple videos about this fight. But what I will say is, I personally think this fight will be bigger than KSI versus Logan. And it's for one simple reason. There's actual real beef. I mean, we have two massive fan bases arguing about this every day. People arguing about who's going to win, and it's so intense. Everyone's so pumped up about this fight. The comment section is just going... Anyway, I've also got to mention this will probably be KSI's last boxing fight, which means it's incredibly important for him to take the win on this so he can leave the sport saying that he had 0 losses. However, on the other side, Jake needs to win as well. Now, Jake needs to beat the guy that beat his brother, and also to beat KSI would mean he's the undisputed YouTube boxing champion, which fits in perfectly for Jake to then go on to an actual professional boxing career. So for both of these guys, it's very, very important for them winning.
KSI's next.
Alright, so the next fight will take a step away from boxing and we'll delve into MMA. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but how good would an MMA fight be between Logan Paul and JMX? Now, I will admit, I know this is old news. However, I've just watched JMX fight in the Fame MMA, and I gotta say, this guy can fight. Like, I'm not even joking. When I watched him, I was pretty damn impressed. And the reason why he should fight Logan is because they are both the same height at 6'2". They're both kind of the same build. Logan's a bit bigger, but Logan's been wanting to do another fight. However, he said on Impulsive that boxing kind of annoys him because there's so many rules in it, and he'd actually prefer to do an MMA fight as it's an actual fight whilst boxing is a sport. And I feel like Logan's wrestling background will help him out in MMA. However, right now this fight won't happen because right now Logan is trying to look for a wrestling match. But after that, hopefully we'll be able to see these two go at it. It'll also be a nice change from boxing. I'm all for it. Let me know down below who you think would win that fight.
You're gonna do MMA for sure, man. For sure. Yeah. You know how to fight. You know how to fight. 9%.
Alright, so this next fight goes off in multiple directions. Now, I don't know if you remember a year ago, there was this guy named Slim, and he had a boxing match against FouseyTube. And there's no other way to say this, but Slim mashed up Fousey. I mean, you could barely even recognize Fousey after the fight. His face was so battered. I mean, just look at it. Alright, if I'm being completely honest, I have no idea who Slim is. But from the research I've done, this is what I figured out. Deji makes a reaction video to Fousey versus Slim. And of course, Deji's just laughing at the entire thing. Just basically taking the piss out of the entire fight. So Slim watches that reaction video and he's like, nah mate, come on then big boy. And he calls out Deji for a scrap. A typical Deji, he just ignores him. But let's fast forward a couple of months later, and who's claiming to be the best YouTube boxer? Well, of course, it's Deji, isn't it? So what happens next? Gib calls him out. Gib wants to make an entire YouTube event called YouTube Rumble to bring boxing back to YouTube. People really excited about it, and you'll never guess what happens. Yeah, Deji says no again. Deji says he doesn't want to get involved in this because apparently that would cause problems between him and his brother. And from what I know, Gib isn't in the Sidemen and he's just a friend of JJ, so I'm not really sure how Deji fighting Gib brings KSI. I don't know. Basically, Deji just says, nah, I don't want to do it because I don't want to cause any beef with my brother anymore. But anyway, either way, Deji, just fight someone. I mean, don't act like you're big bollocks saying you're the best and then don't even scrap. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments, who do you think would win between Deji and Slim and Deji versus Gib?
Putting this out there right now. I think I'm the best YouTube boxer.
Alright, so this next fight, I'm going to take it back a little bit and kind of have a bit of a laugh. But could you imagine how funny it would be if we had Keemstar fighting Ethan Klein from H3H3?
Okay.
Now, we've seen these two go at it on the internet, making all their stupid videos to try and discredit each other. And believe it or not, Keemstar actually said that he would fight Ethan. You know how funny that would be, watching two fat, hairy, 30-year-old men fight in a boxing match? Their punches would have no coordination at all. They'd be falling all over the ring. Though you wouldn't see any technique or any skill, I think it would just be fun to watch. Again, let me know down below who you think would win. I'd probably put my money on Keemstar.
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Right, so now the final fight we're going to talk about is one I doubt you even ever thought about. Imagine having Kavos, the guy that's famous for literally pissing people off by exposing people and hitting people with the hard facts and basically just policing the internet like some vigilante. Imagine him fighting Jackmate, the guy that's famous for doing exactly the same thing. And also, if you didn't know, they're actually very similar in size. Kavos stands at 6'2" and Jack stands at 6'3". And something you may not know is, if you remember at the start of the video when I was showing you JMX fighting in the Fame MMA event, now the guy that was in charge of getting all the influencers involved in this event, he actually asked Kavos if he wanted to fight, and he said, yeah, I'm down, I'll fight. But the rules were is he could only fight someone who he actually wanted to hurt. And at the top of that list for Kavos was actually I'm Alex. And obviously that wouldn't work, because even if a splash of rain fell on I'm Alex, it would split him in half. So realistically that fight could never happen. But on the bottom of that list, Jackmate was there. And this fight was actually trying to be organised, but Jack said no. The reason why Jack said no is because he had jaw surgery, which means he's got metal plates in his jaw, which means it's kind of dangerous if he wants to box. And he also heard that the event Fame MMA is a bit dodgy, so Jack decides to never do that fight. However, in a theoretical world, who do you think would win in a fight with Kavos versus Jack? And although I'm a fan of Jack, I have to admit, I think Kavos would have him. But anyway, that concludes my list of YouTube fights we want to see. If you want to see a part 2 to this, let me know down below. And also, if you have any fights you want to see, also let me know. And you might see that in part 2 if I make a second one. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, as we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, on that note, this has been a fun one. I'll catch you on the next one.